by Coach Dave Montfort, but it's a foul ball. Montfort gets it back in to pitcher Tom Dunn, and we'll be ready to go here. Ryan Gray, the count now 1-1 on the SIC catcher. Here's the pitch to Gray. This one's inside. So Tom Dunn coming inside with most of his pitches here to the Falcons so far here in the first ball game. 2-1 to Ryan Gray. Ryan steps back in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And strike two. That'll even the count at 2-2. One down here in the bottom half of the second inning. Still no score. Here's the pitch to Gray. This one's low and inside for ball three. So the count has run to 3-2 on Ryan Gray, the SIC catcher. Bacon Haster is in the on-deck circle for SIC. Here's the pitch inside, and it hits Ryan Gray. So the second base runner for SIC here so far, Ryan Gray, hit by pitch. And that'll bring up Dennis Bacon Haster. On deck is Rick Cameron. Bacon Haster on the season hitting .250, 7 RBIs. He's 11 for 44, and with 3 stolen bases. SIC, a lot of speed on this ball club. Dunn takes a look over at first base, now throws it over there. But Ryan Gray back in safely. Now Gray quickly with a short lead. Here's the pitch from Dunn, way outside, gets away from the catcher, Bill Smith. But Ryan Gray's going to have to go back to first. Thank you, Ralph. Dave Melsheimer running for Ryan Gray. So Bacon Haster steps back in. Here's the throw back over, and Melsheimer's back in safely. Getting a few raindrops now out here at SIC. Bacon Haster steps back in. Here's the pitch, low, and Melsheimer's going to be in easily at second base. So Melsheimer is at second. SIC with another score and runner in scoring position. Greg Goodley got all the way to third back in the first inning, but then was out trying to score on a pass ball for the third out there in that first inning. Melsheimer with a pretty good lead. Here's the pitch way outside. Nice defensive play there by Bill Smith, the ICC catcher. I'd forgotten about the pinch running rule where you can put in a guy and you don't have to replace him. So Dave Montfort does that a lot with his catchers. Here's the pitch to Bacon Haster inside for ball four. So the Falcons have runners at first and second. And that'll bring in Rick Cameron to the plate. A few more raindrops are falling. Not a lot of cover for the fans or the announcers. Cameron steps in. Runners at first and second, one down for SIC. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second, double play ball. Second baseman has a little bit of trouble, now can only go to first. Gets Cameron out at first base, but SIC's runners move over one base apiece to second and third. Melsheimer's over to third. Bacon Haster down to second. 2 down, though, and that'll bring up Greg Shepard. Shepard, the right fielder here in game number 1, hitting .083, but he does have 3 RBIs and 1 stolen base. Shepard, a very big and husky right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from Dunn, way inside, almost hits Shepard. Second and third for the Falcons, 2 runners in scoring position. And the Falcons could jump out to the early lead here in the bottom half of the second inning with a hit from Shepard. Here's the pitch, strike call, right at the knees. Shepard looks down at Dave Montfort and said, "That was down by my ankles." But the strike call was signaled, and the count now is 1-1. Tom Dunn tosses the ball back in, wants to get a ball not quite as wet as the last one. Chris Wire is on deck for SIC. 2 down here, bottom half of the second inning. Here's the pitch to Shepard, ground ball to third. Third baseman tags Dennis Baconhaster running to third, and the fielder's choice ends the inning. For SIC, they had 2 base runners, but do not score a run, and after 2 innings, no score from Falcon Field. The pitch from Steve Markey. Foul ball down the third baseline and into the SIC dugout. Still a light and mist falling out here at Falcon Field. Not enough to stop the ball game, though. Here's the pitch to Shaber. Hard shot down the third baseline, just foul. About a foot left of the bag. That'll make it 1-2. To Andy Shaber. Steve Markey so far pitching very well in this first ball game. He's gotten out 6 straight hitters, and he has 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. Shaber steps back in, the count 1-2. Here's the pitch from Steve Markey. It's outside for ball 2. The count now 2-2, top of the third. Here, no score at Falcon Field in the first ball game. A pitcher's duel between Steve Markey and Tom Dunn. Here's the pitch to Shaber, fouled back to the screen, so the count remains at 2-2. You're listening to Falcon Baseball on WDRW-FM El Dorado. We'll have the home games for you here from Falcon Field. The next contest out here at Falcon Field is the next ball games for SIC. That's Friday afternoon against Malcolm X College. Here's the pitch for Markey, way outside and high. That makes it a full count, 3-2 to the first hitter here in the top half of the third inning, Andy Shaber. Shaber steps back in and takes ball 4. So that's the first runner on base for Illinois Central here in the first ball game. And that'll bring up Wes Wombles, the left fielder. Wombles, a left-handed hitter. Steps in. Short lead for Shaber at first. Here's the pitch from Markey inside for ball 1. On deck, Mike Albers, the ICC second baseman. One and 0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Ryan Gray, and Andy Shaber is going to be in safely, standing up at second base. No throw even from Ryan Gray. One and 1 the count to the left-handed hitting Wes Wombles. Now Andy Shaber decides to tie his shoe at second base, so we have a little bit of a break here. Top half of the third. Now Shaber decides to tie the other shoe while he had a timeout. Now we're ready to go. Womble steps back in. 1-1 the count to the left-handed hitting left fielder for ICC Wes Wombles. Here's the pitch. Pop-up, foul, down the first baseline. Cantwell says he has it, and he does. So we have 1 out here in the third inning. Wes Wombles fouls out to Dave Cantwell. And that brings up second baseman Mike Albers. Albers, a right-handed hitter, digs in. Andy Shaber down at second base, and 1 out here in the top half of the third inning. Markey checks the sign with his catcher, Ryan Gray, and now Albers says, "You're taking a little bit too much time," steps back out of the batter's box. Now digs back in. Here's the pitch from Steve Markey, strike call. Right on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Steve Markey has been getting ahead of most of the hitters so far here in the first 3 innings. The only one they've had on base so far was a walk to Andy Shaber, and he's right now at second base. Here's the pitch, and it's low for ball 1. The count's even, 1-1 to Mike Albers. On deck will be Frank Smith. Smith, the center fielder. And Illinois Central will be back to the top of the lineup. Here's the pitch from Markey, high and outside for ball 2. So he got ahead of him with the first pitch. And now 2 straight balls have made it 2-1 on the count to Mike Albers. Not a very good lead for Andy Shaber down at second base. Just a couple of steps. There's the pitch. And Mike Albers bails way out and swings at it anyway. No way. Going to get the bat on the ball doing that. Step way out of the batter's box and still swung at an outside pitch. That makes it 2-2. First game action from Falcon Field. No score so far. Albers ready to go once again. Very short lead again from Shaber. Markey fakes the throw down to second base, and Shaber is caught running between second and third. Markey simply goes back over and tags him. Nice move that time from Steve Markey. You can tell the Falcons have been working on that. Not a very good lead from Shaber. He was stunned as Markey faked the throw. Everybody put on the act. The shortstop, Chris Wire, the second baseman, Neil Volkman, both went down like they missed the ball. Also, the center fielder, Rick Cameron, got into the act, and Steve Markey simply went over and tagged Andy Shaber between shortstop and third base. 2 down now. 2-2 the count, and here's a swing and a miss to Mike Albers. So a very strange inning, but a very good one for SIC, as they have no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. And after 2.5 from Falcon Field, no score. In the bottom half of the third, or ready to go to the bottom half of the third, and leading it off for SIC will be shortstop Chris Wire. He'll be followed by Greg Goodley and Neil Volkman in the SIC lineup. A very sneaky play got the Falcons out number 2 back in that top half of the third inning. Some of the players said they had that tried on them down in Florida, and they've been trying it on everybody up north. And it worked that time on Andy Shaber. He was stunned as Markey faked the throw back to second base. Shaber got caught between second and third, and Markey simply went over and tagged him for out number 2. They got the strikeout on the next hitter to end the third inning. And we go to the bottom half of the third, and here's Chris Wire. The first pitch to him, a strike call on the inside corner. Chris Wire hitting .275 on the spring with 8 RBIs. He's 11 for 40 on the season. Here's the second pitch. It's also a strike call. So Chris Wire behind on the count at 0-2 to lead off the bottom half of the third inning. Pitch to Wire, ground ball to third. Fielded by the third baseman, now makes a high throw, but it is caught for the out. So Wire, the first out here in the first inning, or the third inning. Matt Morse, the third baseman, making the play. 1 out. That brings up Greg Goodley. Goodley walked to lead off the ball game, and then was thrown out for the third out back in that first inning as he tried to score on a pass ball at home. Greg Goodley, a .250 hitter on the spring, steps in. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back behind the screen and out of play. Neil Volkman's on deck for SIC. 1 down, bottom half of the third, still no score. Falcons have had 3 base runners so far, but haven't got anyone to cross the plate so far either. Goodley had the best chance, but he was thrown out back in that first inning trying to score on a pass ball at home. 1 strike to Greg Goodley. The El Dorado native steps in, and here's the pitch from Tom Dunn, way inside. The hitting order here for SIC in Game 1, in case you just joined us, Greg Goodley leading it off, followed by Volkman, Borzani, Cantwell, Gray, Bacon-Haster, Cameron, Shepard, and Wire. 1 down, bottom half of the third inning. No score from Falcon Field. Here's the pitch to Goodley, a strike call. 1-2. If Greg Goodley can get the pitch he likes, he can jump on it. Pretty good line drive hitter. Here's the pitch to Goodley, and he hits a high fly ball to left field, curving foul and going off the fence, but in foul territory. So the count stays at 1-2. Goodley hit a shot, but it was about 10 feet foul right off the line. Jogs back to the plate, picks up his aluminum bat, and we're ready to go again here. Greg Goodley at the plate. The count 1-2. Neil Volkman, the SIC second baseman, is on deck. Here's the pitch to Goodley. It's low and inside for ball 2. The umbrellas have come out here at Falcon Field as this light rain continues here. It's continued for the past inning and a half or so. Goodley steps back in. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. He's got it. Long throw and gets him just in time. So Greg Goodley hit the ball deep into the hole, but a nice play from Ted Moore gets Goodley on the ground out, and that's 2 down here in the bottom half of the third inning. Neil Volkman will be the next hitter for SIC. Volkman is 0 for 1. He flew out back in that first inning. 2 outs here, bottom half of the third inning. Alberto Forzani is on deck. Here's the first pitch to Volkman, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Illinois Central winless on the year at 0-6, but Tom Dunn has looked very impressive here in the first part of the ball game here in game number 1. We'll probably see Mike Murray in game 2 for the Falcons. Steve Markey been pitching very well so far for SIC in this first ball game. The pitch to Volkman, low for ball 1. 1-1 to Neil Volkman. A very short but stocky right-handed hitter. This pitch is way low for ball 2. Neil Volkman, the hitter, a very notorious first ball hitter, man. He can really drive the ball for a little guy. He's won a few ball games with the bat, and Dave Monter, with a lot of confidence, has him hitting second here in the lineup. Here's the pitch to Volkman. Ground ball to third. Third baseman makes a stab at it, but can't make the play, and Volkman rounds first with a single. Matt Morris tried to get a jump on it, but the ball hit a little bit too hard through the hole between short and third, and Neil Volkman is on first with the base hit. That brings up Alberto Forzani. Forzani also 0 for 1 in the ball game. The Falcon third baseman flew out for the third out back in the first inning. Forzani, a .418 hitter. The leading regular in the Falcon lineup. That is the leading hitter of the regulars in the Falcon lineup, I should say. On deck is Dave Cantwell, 2 down, but a runner at first for SIC. We're scoreless here so far. Here's the pitch to Forzani outside for ball 1. Forzani can really drive the ball also. Throw over to first base, and Volkman is back on safely. Forzani transferred over to SIC from Rhode Island Community College as he played against SIC on their spring trip last year. Liked what he saw and is here to play for SIC. Here's the ground ball to the shortstop. Bounces off his glove. Now he makes a long throw. Gets away from the first baseman. And now everybody is safe. Volkman goes all the way to third. Ball gets away from the third baseman. Goes into left field, but Volkman is going to have to hold at third as the third baseman, Matt Morris, got back out into left field and retrieved the ball very quickly. Forzani, while all that is happening, jogged slowly down to second base. So on the air, on the Illinois Central shortstop, Ted Moore, the Falcons have 2 base runners, both in scoring position, 1 at second, Alberto Forzani, and 1 at third, and that is Neil Volkman. That brings up Dave Cantwell. Cantwell, the big, lanky, left-handed hitting first baseman, hitting .306 with 15 RBIs He's the leading RBI man for Dave Monfort's ball club so far, 15 on the season in only 16 ball games. And he can do some damage here. Here's the first pitch. It's high for ball one. Forzani at second, Volkman at third. 2 down in the bottom half of the third inning. And here's the pitch to Cantwell. Swing and a miss. That makes the count 1-1. Dave Cantwell, 6'5", left-handed hitter from Momence, Illinois. This pitch to Cantwell is inside for ball 2. Runners at second and third. The Falcons have had a few base runners in those first 2 innings, but could not plate anybody. 2-1 the count to Cantwell. Here's the pitch from Dunn. Line drive into right field. That's going to drive both Volkman and Forzani in. Cantwell rounds first base, gets back safely. Forzani and Volkman cross the plate, and the Falcons are up top by the score of 2-0. Tom Dunn came in with a fastball, and Dave Cantwell parked it into right field, right below the 365 sign in right field, and the Falcons are on the board, leading it now by the score of 2-0. That'll bring up Ryan Gray, the Falcon catcher. SIC now leads it by the score of 2-0. 2 RBIs now for Dave Cantwell, and he's at first base with a pretty good lead. On deck, Baconhaster for SIC. The Falcons are looking like they're pretty confident now. Here's the pitch to Gray. Into the hole. The ball kicked again by the shortstop, and Ryan Gray is going to be on base with an error on the shortstop, Ted Moore. So anything hit so far at Ted Moore has been beneficial to SIC. Cantwell goes down to second on the air. Melsheimer will be running once again for Ryan Gray. So it'll be Melsheimer at first, Cantwell down at second, 2 down. The Falcons have been doing all of this damage with 2 out. Dunn got Wire and Goodley to start the inning, but then he's got nobody out since. Here's the pitch to Baconheister. This one hit to the shortstop again. The play not made by Ted Moore. Everybody is safe. Moore went into the hole, tried to make the play at second base, but Melsheimer got a jump on the ground ball and beat the throw down to second base. So Baconheister is on the fielder's choice, and we have the bases loaded now and 2 out. And you can thank Ted Moore for most of that. The ICC shortstop having a little trouble getting a hold of the ball. Here's the pitch to Cameron. He hits a line drive into right field. 1 run is going to score. That's Cantwell. Here's Melsheimer. He's also going to score. The throw comes into second base. Gets away from the second baseman, but Baconheister is going to hold at third. So Rick Cameron with a hit to right field, scoring 2 more runs. And SIC now leads it by the score of 4-0. And that'll bring up Greg Shepard. Illinois Central begins to warm somebody up down now in the bullpen. Tom Dunn got the first 2 hitters here in this third inning, but then Volkman got on. Forzani got on an error. Cantwell hit one into right field to drive them both in. Ryan Gray got on an error by the shortstop. Baconhaster got on base on an error on the shortstop, Ted Moore. Cameron hit one into right field, driving in 2 more runs, and the Falcons lead it 4-0, and that brings up Shepard, and the first pitch